All right, I think I'm live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream presented by your boy Nittany. Today, I want to talk about living on Bitcoin, the spending dilemma. Now, before I get into anything, I want to talk about the whole idea of spending. It's definitely interesting, and I've talked about it in the past. You kind of have to decide when you want to sell your Sats for US dollars or when you want to HODL. A big part of living on Bitcoin, it's really focusing on real world scenarios. For me, like I want to upgrade my TV, but I don't want to upgrade it right now just because we're about to move, and moving comes with many expenses, and it definitely and I think Bitcoin ultimately changes your spending habits, making you spend less and save more. And I've kind of adopted the quality over quantity mindset, which makes sense when you want to save instead of spend, or if you when you want to spend your money, you want to make sure you're buying high quality items or things or products or services, you know, essentially buying the best of the best or something that you can justify in your own mind. I know a lot of times like you can buy the best of the best. Like I talked about that TV, and you can get like a $1,000 to $2,000 TV, but do you really need that? And for me and my fiance, old Coley, and we don't really, we can't justify spending 1,000 each on a TV, or a couple $100 over our kind of budget. And I've kind of looked around different TVs. I like to find the best of the best of mid to high range items. Now, when it makes sense to spend the extra dollar or extra sat, as you will, then yes, obviously you want to spend that money. So when you end up buying that item, you feel good about it, and you don't feel so guilty about selling your precious sats. And now that kind of leads into my next part of the video, which we just got a new block 887912. Current exchange rates around $84,000 with a priority fee of 6 sats per VByte. And if you want to get into the next block, probably you could do 5 to 6 sats. It's been hovering around less than 10 sats per VByte for a while now. And honestly, like the whole condition of the market seems interesting. I think we're going to head to really bullish times. I mean, it got really bearish for a brief period, and I think that those local bottom is behind us. I hope you were stacking, and I hope you were accumulating more Bitcoin to live more lavishly in the future. And that kind of leads me into the next point, which is the whole topic of this video, which is why it feels hard, or I guess you could say the challenge, to spend or save. And I guess it's like kind of like a duel. Like it's like when to spend versus when to save, and the importance of intentional spending. So in being intentional, like I said in the beginning, you want to make sure you're intentional with when you spend your money. And I think traditional consumer habits don't align with the Bitcoin mindset. We live in a very consumer economy where you want to consume things, you want to have things, you want to have the best of the best items, or perceived as best of the best. Maybe not for you, but for other people. And you want to be like, it's like keeping up with the Joneses. Like you move into a neighborhood, you have a family of four. Oh, another family moves in. The dad buys a new car, the mom gets a new kitchen. The kids have the new shiniest scooters and bikes and whatever. So then you feel like you want to do that for your family. So for me, it's like you want to change those habits so that you don't have those negative connotations towards spending. So when you want to buy that nice thing, you shouldn't be flaunting it. I mean, if someone gets jealous of you, who really cares? But you shouldn't be getting jealous of other people. Like, it's their life, you got to live yours. And the whole point of Bitcoin, and how that wrap that into this conversation, is why you have to have a kind of a psychological shift when you think in Bitcoin versus when you think in US dollars. It's really difficult to explain this over a live stream, but I think the best way I can say it is a real world scenario and deciding when to spend sats. I like to go back to this TV upgrade example. Do we upgrade now or do we keep saving? And right now we're just going to save because we're kind of in the middle of some things. We're trying to figure out our plan for the next 6 to 12 months. And we have some big ticket purchases that are coming up, and really, when does it make sense to spend Bitcoin? And I think it's the easiest way to explain it is if I were to just take all my money in Bitcoin, I would have to then, and I didn't have the bill pay feature of Strike, I would have to then sell my Bitcoin for items. And I think that would really tone me back a little bit on, do I really need that extra Diet Coke? Do you really need that bag of chips, or do you really need that extra charger for your car? Like random things, things just pop up. And I think for me, like, I need a balance: daily expenses versus long-term investments, basically needs and wants. And I think I see Bitcoin, of course, as a long-term investment. That's why you HODL. But I see it as money as well, as a store of value. And I want to make sure that you guys understand my point of view. Maybe it's not the same as me, but how I see it as, I want to save in Bitcoin. Well, as of right now, where it stands, I've talked about this. How I receive my paychecks. I do direct. I get my paycheck in my traditional bank account a few days early because my bank that I'm choosing to use works and allows me to have that feature. Then every week I basically DCA into Bitcoin, a little more than my expenses, and the leftover sats are saved or hodled. And then, of course, when the price dips, I still have some cash on the side for when those times come, and also for those emergency cash kind of only options. Ultimately, in the future, I would love to be only Bitcoin and be on that standard where it's you get all your money as Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's the money. And when something comes up, hey, I need to get a new TV, you either sell your sats for USD or you send sats to a company that, maybe I think Newegg does it, where you could send Bitcoin and they send you the TV. Like, what I'm saying? Like, you transact with Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a gift card. You don't have to sell your sats, use your credit card, pay off the credit card with the money. You know what I'm trying to say. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm in that crossroad. We're figuring out, do I really want to spend my sats or do I want to keep accumulating? And I want to talk about some key considerations before spending Bitcoin and how I've kind of kept going back to this. Is it necessary? Can it wait? Most of the time, it can wait. Is there a way to use Bitcoin without selling it, i.e. borrowing against it? And I know Strike is about to launch some platform. I'm hoping soon. I do want to try it out, just for like a small purchase, and I'll maybe make a video about it just for you guys to watch. I'm more interested to see like if the Strike borrowing feature makes sense for a daily average Joe, And could this purchase be cheaper in the future? I mean, due to Bitcoin appreciation, you have to shift your mind a little bit. The U.S. dollar always stays the same, And $1 is $1, but in the real world, $1 is about 10 cents probably right now. In the future, it's gonna be even less. So, due to inflation, the money printer, just the monetary policy, the fiscal dominance of, I mean, you know what I'm saying right now, but I get the point. Inflation. They just turn on the money printer, goes away. So, yeah. I see it as, if I'm spending $100 on this cool, new, shiny little tech item of a US dollar, it's like, that's $100, boom, right there. That could have been in Bitcoin. Or, I hold it in my hand, like, do I want to save these 100,000 sats, or do I want to spend these 100,000 sats and get something that might provide me value? So you see when the mindset starts shifting, you start realizing, like, wait, I would rather save my sats and buy something of better quality in the future for cheaper. Just because of, Bitcoin appreciation on average. Don't know the exact technical details, but honestly, I've been in Bitcoin for about 3 to 4 years now. Heard about it, double that probably. Dabbled with it in the early teens, but we didn't really hold. Was scared to. And if you guys are interested in my Bitcoin story or my Bitcoin journey, definitely let me know. Follow this channel. Drop a comment down below. Like this video. Maybe I'll share it one day. And The last thing I want to talk about before I open up the discussion, will this improve my quality of life enough to justify parting with my sats? And most of the time, it's probably going to be no. Like for instance, I'm going to set the TV example to the side. I bought these glasses, and I didn't realize I need glasses until one day I was like I was coming home from work, and I was like, why does it, like when I close this eye, like the word, like I could see the text, like I could see my little document of my information, but it's like almost like a little smudge on my screen, like, and then I put my glasses on, it's crystal clear. And I was talking to my fiance and also my family and her family and looking at my benefits for my job, and I saw that one of them is the eye insurance and or eye coverage. And I scheduled an eye doctor, went there, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get glasses, I'm only going to need to get one pair because my vision's perfectly fine. It's 20/20, 25/20. So, and a little stigmatism. So the glasses essentially make my eyes, as I would normally look and see everything, just that tiny bit better, but that tiny bit makes a difference. It's like in Breaking Bad when it's like 96.2% pure, the thing they're making, and it goes to 99 or pure thing they're making is a huge difference. So for me, the glasses make that huge difference. And I didn't want to say what I'm talking about, but you get what I'm trying to say. And for me, I justified spending my Bitcoin on these glasses. They were expensive, don't get me wrong. These are Ray-Ban Clubmasters, the bigger size, the 54, I don't know, diameter width of them. And the lenses are blue light. They're perfect for my vision. I think they're clean. I hope I clean them well. But yeah, as you can tell, they're definitely nice glasses. I think they're nice. They make me look nice. I like them. I have a Ray-Ban sunglasses as well, but these are not prescription. These are just regular. They're actually the smaller version. I've had these for about 10 years. 10 years. I've had the same Ray-Bans. Never lost them, knock on wood. And I was like, you know what? Ray-Bans are good. Say what you want about them. But I liked Ray-Bans. It lasted me this long. I was like, screw it. I'll spend some sats for it. And so far, I haven't looked back. And now I just kind of want to open the discussion, have a little bit of a Q&A, kind of maybe talk about you guys and your experiences. And I noticed there's no one in the chat, which is okay. How would you decide, like, how do you decide when to spend your Bitcoin? Or have you ever regretted spending sats too soon? And kind of want to hear your thoughts on that and overall the overall idea of this video. Like, it's very interesting to talk about spending money when it's a very taboo subject, but I think for me that's important because at the end of the day, if we want to use Bitcoin as money, we got to use Bitcoin as money, right? So I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts. I was chewing gum. I'm sorry if that was distracting. Just need a little bit of something, pick me up. And yeah, I mean, I have the next live stream I'm going to talk about, maybe another lessons learned / updates video, kind of like what we did 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have a couple things I want to talk about. Some little new toy that came in that's just off the screen over here. And just an overall idea of this channel, maybe some more stories, some more ideas. I liked this spending dilemma video because I think it really kind of hones in on the problem at hand is when do you want to spend your Bitcoin? Like, that's what I wanted to talk about. And ultimately, it's up to you and your own decision. I can justify certain things, not everything. Now, that doesn't mean I don't live off Bitcoin. I still live on the Bitcoin standard. I pay off my credit card, and that credit card might have Diet Coke on it or might have chips on it. Honestly, as long as at the end of the day I'm accumulating more Bitcoin, I could care less. And the argument is, well, Johnny, what if you didn't sell your Bitcoin and just dollar cost average a little bit less and just save that? Sure, makes sense. But when you move on sound money, hard money, I have noticed I just feel different. I don't know. I sound crazy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you just try it for a week, maybe instead of transacting 100% digitally on a credit card or cash, try like 10% of your transactions. Try using Bitcoin. Just, you feel different about spending it. And it kind of shapes your vision and shapes your focus on what's the most important thing at hand is our time on this earth, right? So that's really all I have. I hope you guys enjoy this video if you're watching this in the future. Hopefully, we're above 110. I still think this is a bull market. Still, you got to stack sats and stay humble. Obviously, don't get shaken out. I actually slept fine those past couple of days where the market's been crazy, and I'm sorry if anyone did lose a lot of money. I don't mean to like brag or like say like I didn't feel anything. Obviously, I felt something, but you learn to put your shoulders back a little bit, stand up a little straighter once you figure it out. And I'm gonna leave you guys to that. Well, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or slash video. And just want to say, stay humble and stack the sats, baby. Peace out. Didn't do the confetti this